Okay, coming to next episode. Today we are going to discuss about project adjustment. So how to do the project adjustment for specific transaction and adjust multiple transactions, then reviewing the adjusted transactions. These are the things we are going to perform today. And to do this, go to project management accounting to adjust the transaction. So in periodic tasks, we have option to project adjust to do the project adjustments. It will be in transactions, I guess. Adjust transactions, or you can go to that particular project. For example, I can take any one of the project. Uh, in the manage tab, I'm taking first project itself, and if I go to posted transactions, you have adjust transactions here itself, or you can go to posted transactions as well, but I cannot see any posted transactions for that project. So let me filter with project that I have created. You can click on adjust transactions here, or you can go to the posted transactions. See, these are the posted transactions. To adjust transactions, uh, process, I guess, in the process, adjust transactions we have. So for example, you are adjusting the first our transaction, give the adjusted date and click OK. So so currently I'm not taking anything in this particular form, and I'm going to click just OK button here. I'll get this particular adjustment form. This is the form is having the original transaction. The form below to this, you can make your changes. For example, you can change it to category, different category, and example, apprentice I'm giving instead of car audio. Let's click on post button. So now we have adjusted our journal, the category core audio to apprentice. So it has been posted. Once it is posted, if you go to the posted transactions form and refresh this form, you can see the two more lines which is recently added. That is reversal of that particular core audio category, and see, previously it is positive amount and now it is negative, so that it both will get knock off. And this is the correction entry, adjusted entry that we have posted to apprentice. And this is the amount, and if you want to check the voucher as well, you can check it out. So based on your setup, whichever the accounts post assigned in the ledger posting project ledger posting setup, and from there these main accounts will be. Project cost is one account, another is project payroll allocation account. Okay. Next, this is specific transaction adjustment. If you want to do multiple transaction adjustments, go to periodic and adjust transactions under transactions form. You'll get directly to this screen and select your criteria by clicking the select button on the action pane, and what are the project types you need to adjust, that you can select from here. What are the projects you need, and transactions status, posted transactions you want to adjust, or invoice proposal, estimated one, or you have the line property parameters as well. If it is chargeable you want, or non-chargeable you want, you otherwise you want both, including the transactions types. You want what types of transactions, this is type of project and this is type of transactions. I want however as well as expense. I selected whatever I required, and so if I go to from date and to date, I am giving just 12th December to this one. And if I want to filter projects to include, I can do it from here, and I'll give my project and not other projects. I'm filtering with the OK button. It will show all the transactions which are related based on criteria you have provided. These are the four adjusted transactions I have. If I want to adjust all the transactions, I can select all the transactions and and click on adjust button. So I can select this project category, a project here if needed. Basic, for example, if I want to change it to flights or line property, I want to make it as billable. I can make the changes that need to be changed. and I'm clicking OK button. Once I did the OK button, I came to the original transactions from on bottom side we have adjusted transactions as well. So previously it looks like this and it is billable previously and uh, now also billable. You can edit from here as well and you can make it as non-billable as well. Once your adjustments done, you can click on post button. So this is the multiple adjustments that you can perform in the project master. Then coming to adjusted setup, uh, we are discussing about adjustments. Currently we perform multiple adjustments or multiple transactions adjustment as well as specific transaction adjustment. So coming to parameters, that where the adjustments how the adjustments will work. Parameters, how adjustment state, allow adjustment status, always create adjustment transactions, auto update. So these parameters normally currently available or where it's supposed to be taken your criteria that will perform your activity means in adjust to do the adjustments you need to have some parameters set up. We have, if you go to project management accounting and parameters in the general tab itself, you have um, you have something called here, allow adjustment of transaction status, adjust, sorry, here, allow adjustment of transaction status. So you want which type of transactions to be allowed for adjustment. So this is the list of posted transactions you want, invoice proposal you want, invoice you want, and estimated, eliminated ones also you want to adjust it. You can do that. Then coming to adjustments, always create adjustment transactions. Once you post the adjustment, it will, if you enable this, it will always create adjustment transactions. So to do this, so for example, if you want to inquire your transactions in inquiries and reports, uh, you need to check the transactions adjusted. Uh, Transaction inquiry, you can go in the transaction inquiry, inquiries and report, transaction inquiry. If you want to do for our journals, click on our journals. So these are the list of our journals adjusted. Mm, how you can filter it? You can filter by your project ID. I didn't remember my project ID, so I'll take it as newest to oldest so that I can get my project ID. So this is my project ID that I did some adjustments as well as transactions. So I can see here adjusted, and invoice status. So to check this in the action pane, you will have the adjustment trace. You can trace this transaction from where it has been adjusted. So adjust transactions, adjust date. You can change the category as well. As I said, posted transactions. You can click on adjusted change the category and click OK as well. So next is project validation. Project validation normally controls the recording of project transactions like a worker, hour, expense item, task, cost, control allowed. There are three types of validations: worker or project category worker. So, project validation groups in the project management parameters, you have the project validations uh, criteria. In the general tab, you have this validation details. So, project category or uh, project or category, if you want to give the validation, you can give lookup or mandatory. So if it is none, no need to select the uh, no validation required. We lookups the appropriate value, but allows override. Mandatory requires you to define a applicable category project or something. So if I take lookup here, project or category, and I'm saving this, let's go and post the our journal. So once the parameters we have, what we have selected in the parameters, project or category, right? So project or category we have given the lookup. So enable the category validation. Mm, you can go to project. filter for your project. So here you have enable category validation. You need to enable it, and so that a category validation will applicable to this project. Once it is done, once it is done, I'll try to post the transactions to this particular project. Let's take our journal. Oh, it's a sales price note. Journals. New lines. If I take new here, see category, I'm not getting any list in the drop down. If I try to post it, oh sorry, hours I need to mention. So once we are once you are creating the hover journal, there is no drop down to select the categories. So I can if I go to project that we have created, validation we have given a lookup, and let's take a mandatory instead of lookup here. So again, I am going to project management parameters to change that project or category to mandatory field. Let's save this. Once done, I'm deleting the line which was already created in the hover journal. Let's take new. See here now the category is mandatory and there is no categories to select for this project. So to get the list of categories in the list, first of all you need to assign categories to the project. So the categories available, I am selecting two of them into selected criteria and I'm closing this. So now if I see that uh, in the Hour journal, I am deleting the line and I'm recreating it. It's coming the drop down with core audio and apprentice because assigned uh, we have assigned categories to the project. So line property, it is also coming from uh, the category that you have selected. See, default line property is billable. So based on this category, it's taking the billable or non-billable. So this is one validation that you performed, and go to another validation to test it. That is not the category validation, and I'm changing this category validation to none. Now I'm giving resource validation. So I'm making it as mandatory project resource. So for this, you need to go to human resources, or you can go to project management, project resources, resource list. Example, Amit. And this you can assign projects. So assign my project to the list, resource list. So in this project, again I'm going to all projects form. So now we have assigned projects to the resources, as well as I have toggled the project management parameters. So there are two setups I have performed now, and if I go to the project, And in the plan tab, if I go to assign resources, so which is already added here because we have added resources to the we have added project to the resource in the resource list. If I go to uh, project and if I create the hover journal again, once again I can see the resources here, list of resources which are available to this project. I can select the resource as well. This is about project validation. So you have one more category called project workers, I guess. Sorry, category resource project we have checked, and project category we have checked. And then we have category or resource. So in next video we are going to understand about basic project contracts. We'll create new contract, fixed rate contract, overview of funding sources and overview of funding limits, as well as overview of funding rules as well.